Top of the morning, evening, lads. It's the evening, not the morning. I'm used to streaming in the mornings, not the evenings. Evening, lads. Suave Beardson here. Coming in for probably the conclusion of Metal Gear Solid 2. Last week, I believe it was Sunday night, so actually it wasn't a week ago, but Sunday night, we saw Raiden from after his meeting with the President, through his battle with Vamp, all the way up to... yes, the end of Raiden. But we saw what happened with EE and Raiden's descent into Arsenal Gear. So we have officially met up with Snake, and we're getting ready to take out some guards in Arsenal Gear. So I'm assuming that I am far enough in this game at this point that I will probably finish this story tonight. So here we go. Gonna be some long-winded cutscenes and stuff, so we'll just, you know, kick back and enjoy the story. I can't see a damn thing.
We're going in.
Oh, I'm actually doing pretty decent with some headshots, but... kind of just used to aiming in Twin Snakes. The aiming right now is not my strong suit. Is that it? Or do we gotta move forward?
Right. Take the item.
Oh, there we go. I don't have any rations? Oh boy, howdy. Pliskin, in for the save. What are you doing, bro? Is that it?
Now, go!
Oh, shit. You know, I completely forgot that I was going for a... I totally forgot that I was going for non-lethal. I just saw guards, had a SOCOM, and just started blasting.
Right. Take the item. Right. Cat. Use this.
With the sword here, if I press square, it'll actually switch between lethal, which is red, and non-lethal, which is blue. So I'm like hitting him with the blunt edge of the sword. Yeah, I forgot I was going non-lethal. Right in the wiener. Nice shot, Snake. Well done. Well done.
Raiden, about this colonel of yours. I found out where he is.
Where?
Inside Arsenal.
What?
I've checked out all the possibilities, but I keep coming back to Arsenal. It isn't a relay point, it's the origin of the signal. And the encryption protocol it uses is exactly the same as that of Arsenal's AI, the so-called GW.
What the hell does this mean?
I think it means you've been talking to an AI.
That's impossible.
The kernel probably isn't GW per se. GW was most likely stimulating cortical activity in the dormant part of your brain through signal manipulation of your own nanomachines. The kernel is, in part, your own creation, cobbled together from expectations and experience.
That's crazy.
But it's probably the truth. The virus
You might want to listen to
affect
Otacon, bro.
GW,
He knows his shit.
which would explain the kernel's behavior.
It was all an illusion? Everything I've done so far?
Raiden,
Snake, what's happening around here?
I don't know. What I do know is that you're standing right here in front of me. Not an illusion. Flesh and blood.
Quit your whining, Raiden.
It's your call. You can drop this if you want.
No.
Please do.
I can't do that. Let's go.
Yeah, quit your whining. You got work to do.
Raiden, they've got Rose.
What?
Rose is being
Did
held
you not
in the
listen to
holds.
Otacon at
It's
all?
a trap.
Rose!
Raiden, get a grip.
But Snake...
It's a trap. Since the Colonel doesn't exist, there's no way he can take Rose hostage.
Yeah, you're right.
I am right.
Okay. Does Rose exist?
Don't be weird. She's your...
What if I've never really met her?
What?
If the Colonel is something that I partly dreamt up, then everything I remember about her could be...
Don't jump to conclusions.
You and Otacon are the ones that say the Colonel never existed.
Raiden.
Is this what Olga was talking about?
Raiden, just quit your damn whining.
Don't push yourself.
Look at Snake just doing all the work. The audio popping that you were hearing was the result of me unplugging my mic cable and plugging it back in because I'm not sure if it's the cable or if it's the port. But every so often my mic just kind of gets quieter for like basically no reason. Bro, Snake, are you gonna let me do anything? That's fine. I'll just let Snake do it all, because, well, he's more badass than Raiden is anyways. Oh, I forgot about this. So yeah, I'm not sure how many people I killed, but I do know that before I got to this point, I only had 3 kills. Where's them rations, Snake? I need more of them. Lit. Thanks, fam. Oh yeah, he's taking out a lot of people. Snake ain't fucking around. But to be fair, he's also got infinite ammo.
fortune.
It's been a long wait, Solid Snake. The root of all my sorrows.
What?
2 years ago, you killed my father. That was the beginning of hell for us. Everyone I love has been taken from me one by one, and no matter how hard I try, I can't follow them. An endless nightmare.
Right.
The only thing we live for is to see it end.
It's like, Raiden, you've got a stinger launcher. Maybe use that.
Serious about firing the nuke.
Since no one can kill me, I may as well kill everyone I can.
Typical villainry.
Damn! Looks like I'm today's pick. You go on ahead.
You never took VR training on how to deal with whatever that weapon is. Snake don't need VR training. He's just a badass.
Here.
Go, bro.
What are you gonna do? Bullets can't get near her.
I'll think of something. There's no such thing as a witch.
You think you can kill me?
I don't know what your group's been through, but let's get one thing clear. I didn't kill your father.
Do you think anyone believes your lies?
Raiden, get out of here!
I don't think she really needs a scope on that thing. Look at Raiden like, oh yeah, this looks more like VR.
Jack, I've been watching how you fight. It looks like you've remembered the way you used to kill in the old days. Or is it one of the S3 plan's proud achievements?
What are you talking about?
It came as a complete surprise when Ocelot discovered the S3 data from GW. Not a bad
Get some of that
idea,
life
though.
back.
Using fire to fight fire, creating the perfect assassin to retire Solid Snake's brother. S3 stands for Solid Snake Simulation.
Actually, it
It's a
doesn't.
development program to artificially reproduce Solid Snake, the perfect warrior.
If I remember correctly, that's
Is
not
a
what the S3
Foxhound
plan stands for.
commando.
That's just what they told
When
Solidus.
Foxhound no longer exists, a simulated Solid Snake shaped by VR regimen. Sound like someone you know, Jack? I'm sorry to see you reduced to one of the Patriots' puppets. But I've made use of you, and their plan too. Solid Snake's sudden appearance, your arrival. It was obvious the Patriots were among my ranks. I had to smoke out the agent before the mission entered the final phase. You came in handy, as bait. Jack, those days during the Civil War were as real as they come. Every day was absolute. Split between life and death. You ran
Who
from
holds
it,
a sword like
and
that,
now
bro?
You've been led back to war by something less than real.
Nice Heelys, bro.
No more games, Raiden. At least you know. There's no reason to keep you alive now. I've given you a worthy opponent, at least. But now, you should die as the little Jackie boy I once knew.
The one thing to remember about these rays is they're mass-produced, and we all know what mass-producing shit does to it. Makes it junk. Way to go, Jack. Way to go. Look at all them rays in the background, though. Oh, wait, I remember. If you shoot them in the leg, when their mouth's open, and then you shoot, get it right in their face. I need to back up a little bit. That was a good shot, though. Oh, shit! Well, that one's down. Oh, there's a ration up there. Gimme, 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 gimme. Not the target I was aiming for. Alright, one more shot on this one and it should be down. Ration! Gimme, 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 gimme. I have to admit the Stinger in this game is a lot better than the Twin Snakes, that's for sure. He closed his face. Bam! They used to be Metal Gears once, until they took a missile to the kneecap. He's down. Finally. I mean, there's still a bunch more of them, but luckily we don't have to fight them all. Raiden's not a badass, so he's given up.
It's no use.
I was able to beat this mission in VR.
I expected a little more fight than that, Jack. So you decided to show yourself.
Olga, don't do this! They'll know!
I'll hold them off. Give you time to get away.
What about you? This is suicide!
Your nanomachines, they're transmitting your vital signs to the Patriots. If you die, my child dies. You understand?
The child.
I see. So that's why you sold your troops out to me. So many dead, and they all died trusting you! Weren't they your comrades?
No, not just comrades. Family. I know I'm going to help, but at least my child.
I applaud your attitude. If you have a death wish, I'll be happy to accommodate you. See you in hell!
You have to.
Oof.
Olga!
Way to go, Jack. Way to go.
Enjoy the show, Jack. Let's pick up where we left off. What's going on? What's wrong with it? GW, it's out of control. What?
I'm reading an abnormal impulse cascade throughout the neural network. I can't shut it down.
What happened?
Maybe some kind of virus.
The Patriots?
I don't know.
Ocelot, what have you been up to?
It's too late. Arsenal's system control is going haywire. It's on an emergency ascent course.
Oh, shit.
Stupid machines!
See, Ryan, if you were a good shot, you could just do that. Yeah, the scene with Olga is pretty brutal. Yeah. Damn the Patriots.
Damn the Patriots!
Well, you know, you put the right weapon in the right hands and they can do some badass shit with it. Raiden, on the other hand, he's got to have VR training to do anything.
You still have some use.
I've captured Snake.
Snake?
Bring him in.
No, I don't feel like I need to save here. I gotta remember I have an actual memory card, and I don't remember how much space is on it.
GW, the Arsenal AI is corrupted beyond repair. I admit that I underestimated you. I'll squeeze the answers out of you instead, my son.
Holy shit.
What do you hope to hear? You know he doesn't know anything.
It's not him I want the answers from.
Okay, cool. I was like, damn, if there's gonna be more than that, that might be kind of rough to get through.
What do you mean?
That's not your business.
Oh, really? It so happens I have some business of my own to attend to.
Planning to hijack Arsenal?
Huh?
You were going to screw me over, weren't you?
Who talked? Ocelot?
Not exactly. I was the one who used Ocelot to suggest the idea to you in the first place.
What?
I was planning to give you Arsenal to begin with.
Why the uncharacteristic generosity?
I'm no philanthropist. Arsenal is far from impregnable. It needs other Metal Gears as guards, a huge payload of warheads, and full air, sea, and land support to function efficiently. Against a large attack force without support, Arsenal is nothing more than a gigantic coffin. Seizing Arsenal gear was never the real objective.
What was your objective then?
A list of names of the Patriots!
Yeah, the
They
Patriots.
were planning to extend their control to digital information flow with GW and Arsenal. That means the information they want to filter out is contained in GW, including that list of the highest 12 members of the Patriots Wiseman's Committee.
And once you knew who they were, you would cross out their names one by one, while we, with our useless arsenal, drew their fire.
Very good.
You were using us all along.
Were you any different?
But your plans hit a snag with GW destroyed, hasn't it?
No, there is another way.
Really? But we have our own plans to carry out. We'll take the arsenal since you don't care for it anyway. The purified hydrogen bomb is ready to go.
A nuclear strike won't stop them.
It will damage their power source. The mindless masses that they control. First things first.
Of course. That was what you wanted. I won't stop you. Good luck.
Thanks, but I have quite enough of that.
There he is.
What exactly do you find
The guy.
so funny?
Charades usually are humorous. I wouldn't have minded watching some more of it, but we're running a little short on time.
What are you talking about?
Everything you've done here has been scripted. A little exercise set up by us.
Exercise?
The S3 plan was conceived as a means to reduce soldiers on par with Solid Snake. That's what I told you. But the VR training the boy was put through is not the meat of the project. You think this little terrorist incident is your own doing, Solidus? This is the S3 training kernel. An orchestrated recreation of Shadow Moses.
What?
Ames and the President's deaths. The ninja. The computer virus that mimics Foxdie. Did you really think they were all a coincidence? AIM's own nanomachines were used to shut down his pacemaker. I arranged for the appearance of the ninja as well. As for the president, although Johnson realized what was going on, he played out his allotted part. As for the computer virus, it's a digital counterpart of Foxdie. It was also designed to eliminate every scrap of information regarding the Patriots from GW. Your plan was invalidated even before execution, Solidus.
Damn.
Fat Man was a different story. He's one of our own people. A sort of examiner we hired to test the boy's progress before letting him tackle the exercise proper. We had to arrange for Stillman's presence to coax the maniac into agreeing. If the boy had allowed the big shell to be destroyed, this exercise would have ended there. The project has no room for failures.
I was wondering what was really going on with Fat Man. I couldn't remember.
Given the right situation, the right story, anyone can be shaped into Snake. Even rookies can fight like men of experience. An instant creation of genius. And this training kernel will provide more than enough data to formulate such a program. You, Dead Cell, Olga, you're all nothing but pawns placed to create the perfect simulation.
Ocelot, just plan everybody.
Solidus, you and the boy were selected because your relationship resembles the one between Snake and Big Boss. Fortune, you and the rest of Dead Cell stand in for the Foxhound squad that Snake took on in Shadow Moses. You're the most impressive collection of freaks outside of Foxhound. We've gone to a lot of trouble to set you up against the boy. That story about purified hydrogen bombs is just the tip of the iceberg. The project was already underway when I sunk that tanker, along with your old man 2 years ago. Throwing your husband in the brig was a part of it too. You were told that the eradication of Dead Cell 6 months ago was an act of the Patriots. We provoked and encouraged your hatred. And you opted for vengeance, just as we planned.
All orchestrated?
Except for the appearance of the real Solid Snake. I wonder now who sent for you.
All our misfortune was just a part of their project? How could...
You're no Lady Luck. You have nothing that we didn't give you.
What?
Do you know why no bullet could hit you? It wasn't magic, or some new age mumbo-jumbo. Certainly wasn't your psychic talents. It was all staged by the Patriots.
Staged?
You were being shielded by the electromagnetic weapons technology that the Patriots developed. Your Dead Cell comrades loved your father and husband. We needed a pathetic wretch like you to keep them focused. You've been our puppet all along, just like Olga.
No!
You were hamming it up as the tragic heroine, thanks to the script that the Patriots wrote for you. Pure self-indulgence, absorbed in your own misfortune. You couldn't get enough of the drama.
I could have died whenever I wanted to.
I love how they have this big powwow instead of just, you know... It's all interesting and everything, but...
In the heart.
Rather than just getting to the point, they have this long, drawn-out story. But it's good, though. It's a good, entertaining story, but... Still, it just makes me laugh. Typical villainry stuff.
Your heart's on the right. Waste of metal, my dear, but your luck's run out. This is the little gizmo. There's no such thing as miracles or the supernatural.
Then explain
Only
Mantis,
cutting-edge
bro.
Technology.
How could Mantis levitate?
Bastard.
Oh, he can fire missiles out of those now. Since when could he fire missiles out of his little tentacle things? I don't remember that.
Now that I have enough data, all I have to do is retrieve Arsenal and clean up the refuse from the exercise.
Just try.
You gotta remember, though, the cutscenes in the Twin Snakes are completely unrealistic.
How's this then?
Damn.
Fortune!
You idiot! Get the hell away from there!
I told you, your luck's run out. Take your reward. It's all the payload Ray has. Die!
Yeah, I do remember this, too.
Everybody down!
What the? Impossible!
Raiden's like, I've never seen any shit like this in VR.
She is Lady Luck.
My name is Helena Dolph Jackson, the daughter of a proud and noble soldier. I can see my family again.
Damn! Try this instead. No! No! No, not now!
Oh, you know what's coming. There he is. Brothers!
Liquid!
Liquid!
I've been waiting for this! It can't be.
I really just kind of wish, though, that it was actually Liquid and not
I've
Ocelot.
been inside this arm all along, waiting for the right time to awaken.
You were inside Ocelot?
Yes, a sleeper in the arm of a Patriot spy.
It was you 2 years ago?
Exactly. I was controlling him. Snake, it was I that leaked information about Arsenal to your partner and got you out here.
What?
You're the only one that can free me. After all... I'm off to bury the Patriots for good.
You know where they are? How?
Why do you think I chose Ocelot as my host? But before I go, I have a family matter to settle with both of you. There's room for only one Snake and one big boss. Time to say goodbye!
Damn.
I remember this part was pretty epic, too.
Like surfing, it's a good way to go.
Raiden never had VR training on how to break out of handcuffs. Snake can just do it.
Hey, Snake! You coming?
The subtitles just take it over the edge. There is a few things I want to talk about in regards to this story, but I'm going to wait until the end because I don't want to talk over a cutscene. There was a big chunk right there that was taken out of the game because this game came out in November of 2001 and right, yeah, that would be a sight driving over that bridge. But 9/11 happened 2 months before this game was supposed to come out, so there was a whole scene of like Arsenal gear going through New York City, and like I think it topples over the Statue of Liberty and all kinds of shit, and they took it all out because of 9/11.
What are you laughing at?
Do you know what day it is today?
He's like, why is everybody asking me that?
30th?
That's right. George Washington took office as the first president of the United States of America 200 years ago today. And it happened right here. We were going to declare another independence, the dawn of a new nation, here. The end of the Patriots' secret rule, liberation of this country. This was where it was supposed to begin. This is where freedom could have been born.
All you want is power at any cost.
Jack, It's not power I want. What I wanted to take back from the Patriots are things like freedom, civil rights, opportunities. The founding principles of this country. Everything is about to be wiped out.
We'll
by
get to
their
that
digital
topic
censorship.
shortly.
Jack, listen to me. We're all born with an expiration date. No one lasts forever. Life is nothing but a grace period for turning the best of our genetic material into the next generation. The data of life is transferred from parent to child. That's how it works. But we have no heirs, no legacy. We brothers are called les enfants terribles. Cloned from our father, with the ability to reproduce conveniently engineered out. What is our legacy if we cannot pass the torch? Proof of our existence, a mark of some sort. When the torch is passed on from parent to child, it extends beyond DNA. Information is imparted as well. All I want is to be remembered by other people, by history. The Patriots are trying to protect their power, their own interests, by controlling the digital flow of information. I want my memory, my existence to remain. Unlike an intron of history, I will be remembered as an exon. That will be my legacy, my mark in history. But the Patriots would deny us even that. I will triumph over the Patriots and liberate us all, and we will become the Sons of Liberty!
Raiden, are you receiving? We're still here.
How's that possible? The AI was destroyed.
Wrong.
Only GW.
Who are you?
To begin with, we're not what you'd call human. Over the past 200 years, a kind of consciousness formed layer by layer in the crucible of the White House. It's not unlike the way life started in the oceans.
This codec call is brilliant.
The White House was our primordial soup, a base of evolution. We are formless. We are the very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. How can anyone hope to eliminate us? As long as this nation exists, so will we.
Cut the crap! If you're immortal, why would you take away individual freedoms and censor the net?
Jack, don't be silly.
Don't you know that our plans have your interests, not ours, in mind?
What?
Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
The mapping of the human genome was completed early this century. As a result, the evolutionary log of the human race lay open to us.
We started with genetic engineering, and in the end, we succeeded in digitizing life itself.
But there are things not covered by genetic information.
What do you mean?
Human memories, ideas, culture, history.
Genes don't contain any record of human history.
Is it something that should not be passed on? Should that information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives, through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets to books.
But not all the information was inherited by later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike genes, really.
That's what history is, Jack.
But in the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations.
Keep in mind this was written in 2001. This game was released in 2001.
In an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right. You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context?
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. Just look at the strange juxtapositions of morality around you.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely murder other humans.
Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers. Just as in genetics, unnecessary information and memory must be filtered out to stimulate the evolution of the species.
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Absolutely. Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce, retrieve valuable truths, and even interpret their meaning for later generations?
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
Did you take a VR training course for that?
Or something Snake told you.
That's the proof of your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will.
That's not true. I have the right.
Does something like a self exist inside of you?
That which you call self serves as nothing more than a mask to cover your own being.
In this era of ready-made truths, self is just something used to preserve those positive emotions that you occasionally feel.
Another possibility is that self is a concept you conveniently borrowed under the logic that would endow you with some sense of strength.
That's crap!
Is it? Would you prefer that someone else tell you? All right then. Explain it to him.
Jack, you're simply the best. And you got there all by yourself.
Oh, what happened? Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
Ironic that although self is something that you yourself fashion, every time something goes wrong, you turn around and place the blame on something else.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault.
In denial, you simply resort to looking for another, more convenient truth in order to make yourself feel better.
Leaving behind in an instant the so-called truth you once embraced.
Should someone like that be able to decide what is truth?
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the ones smothering the world. You are.
The individual is supposed to be weak, but far from powerless. A single person has the potential to ruin the world.
And the age of digitized communication has given even more power to the individual. Too much power for an immature species.
Building a legacy involves figuring out what is wanted and what needs to be done for that goal. All this you used to struggle with. Now, we think for you.
We are your guardians, after all.
You want to control human thought? Human behavior?
Of course. Anything can be quantified nowadays. That's what this exercise was designed to prove.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
Ocelot was not told the whole truth, to say the least.
We rule an entire nation. Of what interest would a single soldier, no matter how able, be to us?
The S3 plan does not stand for solid snake simulation. What it does stand for is selection for societal sanity. The S3 is a system for controlling human will and consciousness.
There's a lot to take in with this one.
S3 is not you, a soldier trained in the image of Solid Snake. It is a method, a protocol that created a circumstance that made you what you are.
So you see, we're the S3, not you.
What you experienced was the final test of its effectiveness.
That's crazy.
You heard what President Johnson said.
The Arsenal's GW system is the key to their supremacy.
The objective of this exercise was to establish such a method. We used Shadow Moses as a paradigm for the exercise.
I wonder if you would have preferred a fantasy setting.
We chose that backdrop because of its extreme circumstances. It was an optimal test for S3's crisis management capacity. If the model could trigger, control, and solve this, it would be ready for any contingency. And now, we have our proof. Raiden, there are also reasons behind your selection. Solidus raised plenty of other child soldiers. Do you know why we chose you over them? It was because you were the only one who refused to acknowledge the past. All the others remember what they were and pay for it daily.
But you turn your back on everything you don't like. You do whatever you like, see only the things you like, and for yourself alone.
Yes, Rose can attest to that.
You refused to see me for what I was. I lied to you, but I wanted to be caught. You pretended to be understanding, to be a gentleman. You never made a conscious attempt to reach out to me. The only time you did was when I gave you no choice but to do so.
I was just trying not to...
What? Trying not to hurt me? Dear, the one you were trying not to hurt was yourself. Avoiding the truth under the guise of kindness is all that you did. It occurred to you to do nothing but look out for yourself. Even if you claim that it was for my sake, that feeling was nowhere to be seen. In the end, everything was for your sake. I was never part of the picture.
Exactly right. So you see, you're a perfect representative of the masses we need to protect. This is why we chose you. You accepted the fiction we provided, obeyed our orders, and did everything you were told.
You never mean to...
The exercise is a resounding success.
I still can't remember what that's from.
Didn't I tell you that GW was still incomplete? But not anymore, thanks to you.
Your persona, experiences, triumphs, and defeats are nothing but byproducts. The real objective was ensuring that we could generate and manipulate them. It's taken a lot of time and money, but it was well worth it considering the results. I think that's enough talk. It's time for the final exercise. Raiden, take Solidus down.
Think again. I'm through doing what I'm told.
Oh, really? Aren't you forgetting something?
If you die, my child dies.
The termination of vital signals from your nanomachines means the death of Olga's child. Not to mention the death of Rose. She's wired the same way.
Rose, does she actually exist?
Of course I do, Jack. You have to believe me.
Damn!
It will be a fight to the death.
Solidus at least wants you dead.
We will collect the necessary data from this last fight. Then we'll consider the exercise closed. So, Jack the Ripper, will it be Solidus, the Patriot's creation, or you, Solidus's creation? Our beloved monsters, enjoy yourselves.
There's a lot to break down in that one. And we'll get to that momentarily.
My son. My clone brothers and I are called monsters, replicates of evil genes. You are one of a kind, but still a monster, shaped by a dark and secret history. We need to decide which monstrosity will have the privilege of survival. By the way, Jack, I was the one who killed your parents.
You're gonna do exactly as you're told.
I claimed you for my own and raised you as a soldier in the army of the devil. I am your foster father and your worst enemy.
Why?
Because I needed to know whether we were really someone else's creation. We're repeating history, Jack. Liquid and Solid hunted down Big Boss, trying to sever the tie that bound them to him. Unless you kill me and face your past, Jack, you will never escape. You'll stay in the endless loop, your own double helix. It's time we were both free. I have other reasons for wanting you dead. The clues to the Patriots inside GW have been erased, but there are other traces. Inside you.
What?
The information is being carried by the nanomachines in your cerebral cortex, and throughout the neural network they've formed.
All right, here we go. Bro, why are you bringing missiles to a knife fight?
Let's go. Is that the best you can do? Is that the best you can do?
Is that all you've got? Raiden, you're getting your ass kicked.
Let's go. Is that the best you can do? Take this.
I'd rather not.
Good work, Jack. But this is where
Oh, I think I spotted a ration.
Raiden, you have to beat Solidus. This is your last duty.
We're not just pawns in some simulation game, you know.
Raiden,
Yes, you are.
you're not a badass.
Nothing but mere weapons. No different from fighter jets or tanks.
What the?
The old model destroyed 4 years ago was Rex.
The new amphibious model is Ray.
Both of these are the same as the code names used by the U.S. Armed Forces to refer to Japanese warplanes during World War II.
Your code name, Raiden, too, comes from the Japanese Navy's name for one of its interceptors.
Stop it. I'm not a weapon.
Oh, really? Do you know the code name the U.S. Armed Forces used for the Japanese fighter Raiden?
It was Jack. Both of you are just weapons to be used and thrown away.
Just weapons to be used on the battlefield. Just pawns in a game. Exactly as you said.
And a weapon has no right to think for itself. Now, it's time to fulfill your purpose. Defeat Solidus.
Got him. You know, this really is a fantastic game from beginning to end. The only problem with it is Raiden. If Raiden makes it so hard to enjoy this game. Literally nobody in this game even takes him serious. I know somewhere in this last cutscene, I think you can, like, move the camera around a little bit and you can spot Vamp somewhere in the crowd. So let's see if we can spot Vamp.
Who am I, really? No one quite knows who or what they are. The memories you have and the role you were assigned are burdens you had to carry. It doesn't matter if they were real or not. That's never the point.
Leave it to Snake to bring in philosophy and be all philosophical with
There's no such
Raiden.
thing in the world as absolute reality. Most of what they call real is actually fiction. What you think you see is only as real as your brain tells you it is.
Then, what am I supposed to believe in? What am I going to leave behind when I'm through?
We can tell other people about having faith. What we had faith in. What we found important enough to fight for. It's not whether you were right or wrong, but how much faith you were willing to have. That decides the future. The Patriots are a kind of ongoing fiction too, come to think of it. Listen, don't obsess over words so much. Find the meaning behind the words, then decide. You can find your own name. And your own future.
Decide for myself?
And whatever you choose will be you.
I don't know if I can.
I know you didn't have much in terms of choices this time. But everything you felt, thought about during this mission is yours. And what you decide to do with them is your choice.
You mean start over?
Yeah, a clean slate, a new name, new memories. Choose your own legacy. It's for you to decide. It's up to you.
I don't know, Raiden might have to take some more VR missions to figure that out.
By the way, what is that?
Dog tags.
The date of birth I put on there was the date I started this playthrough, which I think was like May 13th.
Anyone you know?
No, never heard the name before. I'll pick my own name, and my own life. I'll find something worth passing on. They taught me some good things, too.
I know. We've inherited freedom from all those who fought for it. We all have the freedom to spread the word. Even me.
Snake, what about Olga's child?
Don't worry. I'll find him. Count on it. As long as you keep yourself alive, he's safe.
Do you know where Liquid went?
I put a transmitter on his ray.
Did he head for the Patriots?
Yeah, but I have a feeling they gave Ocelot a bogus location to begin with. Cheer up. We have a better lead. This contains the list of all the Patriots.
But Ocelot took it.
The one we gave you wasn't the real thing.
What?
This virus is coded to destroy only a specific part of GW, namely the information about the Patriots' identity. Which means that there's a parameter coded in here that defines what that information is.
I get it. Analyze the code and you can probably find out where they operate. Count me in.
No, you have things to do first.
You got more VR missions to
People you
take.
need to talk to.
Okay, I think it's specifically during this next bit where you can spot Vamp in the background.
Snake?
What's wrong?
Nothing. Can I ask you something? Who am I, really?
I wouldn't know. But we're going to find out together, aren't we?
Oh. Yeah.
See me for what I am, okay?
I know.
Well, I didn't spot Vamp.
Do you remember this place?
Of course. This is where we first met. I remember now.
Hmm?
Today is the day I met you.
That's it.
I think I found something to pass along to the future.
What?
He said all living things want their genes to live on.
Are you talking about the baby?
Yeah. But genes aren't the only thing you pass on. There are too many things that aren't written into our DNA. It's up to us to teach that to our children.
There's background music, though.
What kind of things?
About the environment, our ideas, our culture, poetry, compassion, sorrow, joy. We'll tell them everything together.
Sorrow and joy.
Is that a proposal?
The sorrow, the joy, the Cobra unit. Coincidence? Maybe. Two pivotal people in the creation of the Cobra units and Ocelot's parents? Maybe we're looking into it a little too hard, but it's something. Okay. I'm going to mute the game audio real quick. So while we watch these credits and wait for the ending, and the sorrow and the Cobra unit and all that, and the joy, which is the boss, is all in the next game. So maybe there's a link there. Coincidence, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot to unpack in that last little bit, and Ocelot's story can be confusing as shit because he's playing so many different sides. And, well, I guess spoiler alert, because we're going to have to talk about the fourth game a little bit, along with the fifth game a little bit, to kind of put where Ocelot's at this part of the story. So Ocelot was always loyal to Big Boss. That is evident in the fifth game. That is evident in the fourth game. His loyalty was always with Big Boss, even though we now know that after playing the entire series numerous times that which will be revealed in the next game. So spoiler alert coming up, but I feel like if anybody's gives a shit about Metal Gear 2, they've probably also played Metal Gear 4, so we're just going to go with it. The Patriots were originally a group formed by Zero, Big Boss, Ocelot, Eva, Sigint, and the Paramedic. And then obviously the Les Enfants Terribles project caused a rift between Zero and Big Boss, and they split off into their own shit, and then that was the result of the fifth game. Now, essentially what's happening by this point is, after the events of the fifth game, Skullface, fucked with Zero and, poisoned him or some shit, so he was his health was in a steep decline, basically becoming a vegetable. So Zero, along with Sigint, aka Donald Anderson, formed the creation of an AI unit, to basically carry out the boss's will, which Zero interpreted in the way that he did, as being basically controlling the world and deciding for everybody else what's best for them. And that was done because Zero could no longer do it himself, was done through the creation of AI systems. That's part of what GW was. Now, we'll hear in a minute from Ocelot. There's another conversation at the end of these credits here. To kind of reveal not necessarily the truth about the list of the Patriots that they have, but the whole 12, Wiseman's committee and all that. That is also revealed in the next game, the third game, which I've already played. The Wiseman's committee was the 12 original members of the Philosophers. And then the Patriots were created with the funds and everything, and was basically the successor agency of the Philosophers. So what's happening here is the AIs created by Zero and Donald Anderson are starting to basically take over and run the Patriots as an AI system. Now, Ocelot, even in the events of the fifth game and throughout basically the entire series, was loyal to Big Boss, but still also a member of the Patriots. He was a double agent basically through the entirety of the fucking series. At least that's what I get out of it. And so he's using the whole liquid arm thing, which from what I remember, like he did legitimately have Liquid's arm grafted onto himself and all that kind of shit. And it started fucking with him. But the whole, like, possession and everything of Liquid taking over Ocelot, that was all a ruse. Because he never does it when Snake's not around. So, by being able to act as a member of the Patriots still, he can get all this information that he wants and everything, and figure out certain things and ways that the Patriots are operating. But then he flips and pretends to be taken over by Liquid so he can then destroy the Patriots. So he's like using the Patriots to get information about the Patriots and then pretending to be Liquid to then go against the Patriots is kind of essentially what's going on there. And so he eventually becomes Liquid Ocelot in the next game. And I'm pretty sure they explain it in more and better detail than that. So essentially this entire game, Ocelot was a member of the Patriots and playing everybody. And then right at the end, he flips into Liquid and then goes after the Patriots AI systems on his own because he got the information from the Patriots that he needed. I know they go into a lot of fucking detail about this whole fucking thing in the next game. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited to play the fourth game again for the first time in about a decade because, well, there's a lot of fucking information in that game. So, yeah, well, this was a decent playthrough. Had a couple rough spots like going into the shell core and all that, and then obviously forgetting that I was playing a non-lethal playthrough and just started blasting everybody in Arsenal. So I'm still willing to bet, though, my kill count's going to be under 20. I don't remember how many guards that I took out, but I have a feeling that that number's going to be over 10, but less than 20. 'Cause before I started this one, I only had 3 kills in the entire game, and they were all completely accidental. So, yeah, we should be coming up on the ending here soon in the score screen. But the plan right now is to jump into Metal Gear 4 for the first time again on Wednesday night, roughly about the same time as today. And then probably Friday next week, I'm thinking will be the next one that I do. And then after that, I'm going to try to do Mondays and Thursdays, I think is the plan. But it'll all be nighttime from here on out, because morning streaming is just not in the cards anymore for a while.
Life isn't just about passing on your genes. We can leave behind much more than just DNA. Through speech, music, literature, and movies, what we've seen, heard, felt, anger, joy, and sorrow. These are the things I will pass on. That's what I live for.
I have read that
We
this
need to pass the torch.
Hideo Kojima planned on this
and
being
let
the
our
last
children read
Metal
our
Gear
messy
game.
and sad history by its light.
So this whole like ending monologue kind of makes
We have
sense.
all the magic of the digital age to do that with. The human race will probably come to an end sometime, and new species may rule over this planet. Earth may not be forever, but we still have the responsibility to leave what traces of life we can. Building the future and keeping the past alive are one and the same thing.
Snake, you there? It's me. I've finished going over that disc.
Did you find the Patriots list?
Of course. It contains the personal data of 12 people. There was a name on it. Snake, it was one of our biggest contributors.
What's going on around here?
I don't know.
Anyway, where are they?
Well, we were right about them being on Manhattan, but
But what?
they're already dead. All 12 of them.
When did it happen?
Well, about 100 years ago.
What the hell?
All right. Total playtime 8 hours, 30 minutes, 42 seconds. Saved 7 times. 24 continues. Yikes. 33 alerts. 11 killed. Okay, so I killed about 8 people in Arsenal. The other 3 were completely accidental, and I used 28 rations. So that's not a terrible end result. Well, I got a lot of continues in the one spot after the Harrier fight. Those were not necessarily intentional, but they were kind of intentional. And then, yeah, had a lot of alerts. I did have some problems with that later on, and a lot of rations. I used a lot of rations in Vamp. I remember using a lot of rations in that one. But, yeah, only 11 kills. That might be my lowest kill count in a Metal Gear game ever. No code name? Oh, okay, I forgot they did this. So there's my clear code, but I don't think that, well, the website might still exist, but the little, like, web portal to, like, input this clear code, I don't think exists anymore. New item, huh? Oh, the camera. I can use it in the tanker episode. I can use that in the plant. Yeah, we'll save. Alright, so that was Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty in full. As for YouTube, right up there will be a subscribe link if you've made it this far. Right over in that direction will be a playlist where you can see my entire playthrough of Metal Gear 3, Metal Gear Solid 1, and now Metal Gear Solid 2. Coming up soon is Metal Gear 4, so definitely hit the subscribe button, click that playlist over there, and definitely check out Metal Gear 4 when it comes around to that, because I haven't played that game in over a decade, and it was, at least when I played them all the last time, it was probably my favorite of the entire series. So until then, stay suave.